Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hello, everyone. Welcome, my fellow Starcasters. I'm Karis. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is your astrology cosmic superpower for the week beginning Sunday, November 3rd through Saturday, November 9th, 2024. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. The spectacular November sky starts off on Sunday, November 3rd, with Mercury, elusive, shape-shifting Mercury, making an appearance with the moon and Venus. The waxing crescent moon at twilight will have Mercury and Venus. The crescent part of the moon points towards Mercury. Now, the other part of the moon has what's called earth shine, which is the light and shine from the earth. On November 4th and 5th, we have what's called the torrid meteor showers from the south and the north. They will overlap with each other, and the moon will not be interfering with seeing the torrid meteor showers. On Saturday, November 9th, we have the moon rising around noontime. We will be able to see the moon high in the sky at sundown. The 7 originals, or the OGs as I call them, will be lined up this week as such. The 7 original planets used in astrology that we can see without aid of telescope binoculars, just like the first original astrologers did, are lined up as such this week. We've got the sun in fixed water Scorpio. The week starts off with the moon in her fall in fixed water Scorpio. Mercury is in its detriment in the sign of Sagittarius, mutable fire Sagittarius. Venus is now in Sagittarius as well. We have Mars changing signs on Sunday and going into fixed fire Leo. How exciting is that? And we have Jupiter still in its detriment, retrograde in the sign of Gemini. Saturn is still retrograde as well in Pisces, ruled by Jupiter. We're starting off the week with daylight savings time ending, and at this point I just wish they would stop with the daylight savings time and ending, because at this point, other than just messing up and upsetting our sleep patterns, what is the point to continuously do this? Anyway, remember to fall back, set your clocks back 1 hour. In the spring, it's spring forward, fall back in the fall. So this begins on Sunday, November 3rd. Now, besides that, what a day and what an exciting time that we are in. There have been a lot of last aspects to the planet Pluto that is getting ready to be fully in fixed air Aquarius. Now, today on November 3rd, we've got Mars in its fall, Cancer, at the ending degree, making an opposition aspect to Pluto at 29 degrees Capricorn. This is how the day is starting off, with this Mars-Pluto opposition. As we've been working towards the exact moment of the Mars-Pluto opposition, this is the final goodbye in the area of an action that you've been wanting to take, and you've been putting it off because Mars is action. Mars has been in its fall in the sign of Cancer, which is cozy at home, hiding away. But this final Mars in Cancer making the opposition to Pluto in Capricorn is once and for all ending something where you've been putting it off, you've been delaying, and now you're going to do something about it. So the Mars-Pluto opposition, this is an aspect of that feeling, that energy of you've got to finally take a stand and do something. Sunday starts off with the moon in her fall in fixed water Scorpio, but then it changes into mutable fire Sagittarius. Now, with the moon entering Sagittarius, the moon in Sagittarius makes a conjunction to Mercury in its detriment in the sign of Sagittarius. This can be very emotional conversations about future plans and how to get there. We also have Venus in Sagittarius making an opposition to Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, in Gemini, its detriment. These are the discussions about where is this relationship going in the future. these Jupiterian components here are how are we getting to the next chapter, the future of our lives. Later on the 3rd, now we have the huge, beautiful change that I just love, because Mars, which is the planet of getting things done and being very determined to move forward, is leaving its fall placement in the sign of Cancer and going into a fiery, friendly triplicity, which is fixed fire Leo. Mars is energy. It is that life force, and so is the element of fire. So if you've been feeling lethargic, a little low energy, wanting to cozy up at home all the time, with the Mars in its fall in Cancer, then this huge change as we start off the week, which is Mars getting very excited, fire, enthusiastic about let's now take action and get things done. Know where this is taking place in your astrology chart, because it is a major change by dignity for a planet to leave its fall placement and go into a placement, Mars in Leo, that brings a new vitality, a new life force, a new sense of fire and energy to move forward in your life. On Monday, the moon's day, please make it a point to watch the night sky, because we still have the moon in Sagittarius making a conjunction to the jewel of the night sky, the queen of heaven, Venus in Sagittarius. Now, this moon-Venus conjunction, when we get to see that beautiful crescent moon right next to our sister planet Venus, the brightest light in the night sky, besides the moon, of course, that crescent moon with Venus, which is the new baby moon. The new moon time is the time of new beginnings. And when the new moon is next to Venus and they're both in Sagittarius, this is a feeling of great optimism and happiness and joy about the future. Sagittarius is reach for the stars. Moon-Venus conjunction in Sagittarius fire is anything is possible when and if you have faith and the truth. Sagittarius is the sign of faith and honesty, the truth. What a beautiful sight to see on the eve of a life-changing event that is going to take place on Tuesday, November 5th. Make a point if you can, if the skies are clear where you are, to see this lovely, magical Moon-Venus conjunction. Both feminine planets, the Moon and Venus, coming together with hope, promise, faith, and truth about the future. Again, on November 4th and 5th, we do have the interlapping toward meteor showers. If the skies are clear, you should be able to get to see at least 10 per hour. Beautiful welcoming in and announcement with this new moon and the Moon-Venus conjunction in Sagittarius. November 5th, of course, is election day, and on election day, the moon then changes signs and moves into its detriment in the sign of Capricorn. So when the moon is in its exile, away from its castle, the furthest place away from its natural home placement, which is the moon at home in Cancer, then the feeling of wanting to find your place, wanting to go where you belong. The moon in Capricorn can feel lost in the sense of, where are we going? What does the future hold for you? When the moon is in Capricorn, as always, be really, really good to yourself. The moon rules over the stomach. The moon rules over food. Of course, healthy, wonderful nutrition is important always. But on this day, where there can be some confusion with the moon square Neptune, that's emotional confusion and trying to sort it all out. That was with the moon in Sagittarius square Neptune in Pisces, right before the moon goes void, of course, and then entered the moon in Capricorn. So be kind to your stomach, your body, also the stomach, the moon in Capricorn. This has to do with the third chakra, fear, Know that you are safe. Know that you will be well. All will be well. And self-care on Tuesday, always, but on this Tuesday with the moon going into Capricorn. November 6th, we still have the moon in Capricorn, and the moon in Capricorn makes a square aspect to Chiron in Aries. So the square to Chiron in Aries, which is about the new you, your new sense of identity. This can be you wanting to change a look, wanting to change a hairstyle, something about yourself. Aries rules the head and hair, but overall, it's just the moon making a square aspect of action where the feeling is, because the moon is all about the feels, where the feeling is wanting to change the way you look on the outside to match how you are feeling in the inside. This is the moon square Chiron, the wounded healer. Also because Chiron is the wounded healer, if there's something about your identity, your appearance, your look, that perhaps you've felt like you've always wanted to do it, but you didn't have the courage to make a major change, then this moon, which is what we need emotionally with a square aspect, is prompting you to embrace a new sense of look and who and what you are, to express it with Chiron and Aries in a very fiery, bold, outgoing way. In other words, put it all out there and embrace it with the moon square Chiron in Aries. November 7th, we start off the evening and the early morning with the moon in Capricorn, but then the moon changes signs. The moon moves into fixed air Aquarius, which is a new attitude, a new mindset, way of communication. Aquarius is also the rebel. The Aquarius moon is independence, going your own way, wanting a greater sense of freedom, freedom to think, to communicate, to learn what you want to think and communicate. So the moon having this feeling of a new sense of you and wanting more freedom and movement in your life. This is always the element of air. The moon in Aquarius makes an opposition aspect to Mars, now in Leo, and the moon-Mars opposition is this greater sense of having your dignity, Mars in Leo, sense of value, what the heart truly wants, your sovereignty. Moon opposition Mars can be the separation from things that are no longer in alignment with how you truly feel, meaning where your heart really is placed. This is the Mars in Leo. Leo rules over the heart, and Mars in Leo is about taking action. So the moon wants a greater sense of freedom and lightness in communication, and making that opposition to Mars in Leo, it now means that you're going to do something about having greater freedom and independence in your life. It also brings in wanting new friends because Aquarius rules over friendships. The groups, the people that you have a mindset that you share, a mindset and a way of thinking with. The moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is philanthropy. It wants to contribute back. Aquarius wants to move into the future, and where are we together moving into the future? And it's very much about helping each other. So the moon making this opposition to Mars is aligning yourself, connecting with people that share the same mindset as far as how and where and why you want to help make the future a better place for everyone. Aquarius is also tolerance. It doesn't judge. It includes all different kinds of people with different points of view, value system. It's equality. Aquarius, the power to the people. Friday, November 8th, we do have the second quarter moon where we cross over from new moon phase to second quarter, moving towards the full moon. Now, the second quarter moon is at 17 degrees Aquarius, which brings in that second division, that second decanate of Aquarius. This brings a Gemini time for change element or influence with the second quarter moon. Also, the sun, the moon making that square to the sun at 17 degrees Scorpio. This brings in the second division of Scorpio, which the decanate, the second decanate for Scorpio at 17 degrees has a Piscean influence. So an ending but a new vision, both at the same time. So with this second quarter crossover point, as we do start to build to the full moon, this is the emotions and the moon in Aquarius, sorting it out, wanting to take action, but sorting out that inner conflict of where and how you want the new phase of your life, what direction you want this to move in. It brings in endings and new beginnings. As we close out the week on November 9th, we have the moon in Aquarius making a sextile aspect of opportunity to Chiron, the wounded healer, in Aries. Now this is when you really let out and express what is unique and different about you and your look. Aries has to do with the image and the branding. So expressing a very unique and different component to yourself. This is how we are closing out the week on Saturday, November 9th. Also, Venus in Sagittarius will make a square aspect to Neptune in Pisces, sorting through and feeling through. If you feel the same way about the relationship that you've been in, you could find as we're closing out the week that you just don't feel the same way in the relationship you're in. The feelings have changed, and the Saturday closes out the week with sorting through that confusion about how and why you may not feel the same way about a person that you've been with, and how and why can we make it better. It's not necessarily an ending, that's an opposition. The square is action, which is I want to do something. I want to take action with Venus squared Neptune about why certain feelings may not feel the same in your relationship. The moon in Aquarius then makes a beautiful sextile aspect to Venus in Sagittarius. Now, the moon in Aquarius sextile Venus in Sag, this is like going on a new adventure. It's the energy, the cosmic power of let's try something new and unique. Let's change the energy up. Now, because Sagittarius has to do with travel and long distance travel, one of the things you can do, it's not the only thing, but one of the things you can do is go on a new adventure with your partner, your loved ones, because when we do just go exploring and on a path of discovery, this is very much the sign of Sagittarius. It might be where you live or someplace local, but bringing that new energy into your relationship with the moon sextile Sagittarius is a beautiful way to shake up the stuck energy and bring in the new sense of excitement and adventure. This is the moon making that sextile 60-degree angle to Venus in Sagittarius. Now, Venus in Sagittarius, that placement is always about how love brings in friendship. It's like palling around. It's sports, it's adventure, it's travel. It's the feeling of the energy of we like to do the same things. It's also Venus in Sag is friendship. So it's not just the love and romantic. It also brings in the opportunity, moon sextile Venus, to bring friendship. We're really good friends into the love situation. Later on in the evening, as we start to close out the week, the moon then moves into mutable water Pisces. This is emotion. This is very deep because Pisces is the ocean of emotion. Deep feelings come to the surface as we are closing out the week. Now, the moon is what we need. It's what we are hungry for. And so this moon in Pisces is the emotional need to share your dream, your vision with the people that you love. You're wanting to get in touch with. The moon is also always the emotional body, wanting to be connected to your deep emotions, how you feel, and wanting to be able to share that, to be vulnerable with the people that you love. It's a very deep placement emotionally as we are closing out this beautiful and very exciting, life-changing, never to be forgotten week. It is the event, as we've all been building up to this time with the moon and Venus in Sagittarius and Mars moving into fire. Fire is life. It's exciting, an exciting journey with that sense of things are going to work out. The universe has your back. Always have some faith. And this is how we are moving through this week. With the strong Sagittarius component this week, Mercury, Venus, the moon. Sagittarius is high hopes. That's the energy, the cosmic power. That feeling, that theme through the week of high hopes. Hold on to that feeling, that vibration and energy with all that is going on. And of course, I know, and we all know what is going on. And that high hopes for the future is the Sagittarian component, especially with that Moon-Venus conjunction in Sagittarius. Thank you, everyone, for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. Thank you to my fellow StarCasters. Have a fabulous week. I will see you all in the stars.